Morning folks, Woody here. Now on this rather cold morning, I've just checked my phone and it says it's 6 degrees here in Biggenden. That's 6 degrees Celsius, centigrade, whatever you want to call it. Which coincidentally, when I lived in Killarney and I had the BMW with the heated grips and everything, was the temperature when I stopped riding my motorcycle because it was just too darn cold. There were plenty of people down there who did ride the motorcycles right through the winter, but no, not I. Anyway, I have stopped riding my motorcycle because it's decided, apart from the fact that it's cold, it's decided that it's only going to run on one cylinder. So I went to put it on my lift and realised that my lift is not lifting. Now, I think it's the O-ring, the tiny O-ring in the side where you pump it up. And I have replaced it several times in the time I've owned it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the lift. It's a good solid lift, but it was a cheap lift and the pump or the ram is the weak point. So I've pulled this off before and I only have one 24mm socket. And I thought, you know, if I had a spanner to hold the other side, it would be far more convenient than using a my fingers or a shifter or whatever. So I went looking for one 24mm spanner because really I have a lot of spanners. I don't need a heap more. And when I was on catch.com, I spotted this lot for, I think it was $29. And well, that's about the same price as a decent 24mm spanner. So I thought I'd grab it. And just, I can't really test for strength or anything. I'm not going to bend these spanners to prove to you that they're good. The application that they're being used for is not excessive. I will throw this tool roll in the Toyota as part of its toolkit because I'll always have it at home when I need this 24. So what I thought we'd do is we pull the 24 out. We get the bolt that I bought it for and we'll just have a look at the tolerances. Now I'm sure you can see the tiny amount of movement there. I'm pretty sure that's going to be good enough for what I want. We'll go to the other end. And yeah, I think that that is going to be fine for what I need to do. So yeah, it's one of those things, like I can see the finish on this isn't perfect, but once again they're going to spend probably the rest of life in the back of the car and get pulled out once every 5 years when I have to replace the O-ring on the ram. So I think for $29 they're good enough to do the job I need to do. Alrighty then. So I've got the ram back from the repairer. He was grumpy old bugger who didn't want to touch it because he doesn't do jacks. But I managed to convince him to have a look at it for me. He said all he did was put a quad in it instead of an O-ring. He didn't test it or anything, so I'm going to whack it back in, but I'll probably have to pull it back out again or at least do some bleeding to it. But anyway, all we're here to do at the moment is test this spanner. So yeah, that spanner goes on there. The ratchet goes on the other side. So that's as good as gold. That spanner is exactly a 24mm spanner and that's all it's supposed to be. So quite happy with that. Leave you while I finish this job.